Deedge's take on Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpents. Oh, okay, I'm curious. A lot of people seem to disagree on my take here, so I'm curious what Deedge thinks.
That's why people are mad, because they worked hard to get it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I get that point, but I don't know. I get the point, but I don't sub to the logic of, like, having things be hard just because it was hard when you did it. Like, I feel like some things definitely, like, even though they're ass, if you earn them when they're ass, like, something should probably be changed for the better. That's sort of like, oh, don't nerf the raid because I was able to clear it when it wasn't nerfed, right? I feel like it's okay for things to change. It would be different if this was like one of those things that was really tough to earn and took like a lot of skill expression in the game to get. But this is not one of those things. It's kind of just like pulling a slot machine literally thousands of times. And like, it's okay that there has another way to earn it.
Okay, so I really like Deedge. And two, this is a argument that I hear a lot. So I want to address it because I disagree with it wholeheartedly. And I was actually thinking about it this morning in the shower, so the timing is just perfect. So let's do this. Let's go to Simple Armory. And let's go to mounts. And we go to collectibles. And let me ask you guys some questions. In the Burning Crusade, what is the most prestigious, exciting, rare mount when you see it run by or fly by? When you think of Burning Crusade, what's the most exciting mount to see? Ashes, 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 ashes. Yes, that's exactly right. Before I prove my point, let's go to Wrath of the Lich King. In Wrath of the Lich King, what mount in Wrath of the Lich King do you just kind of turn your head and maybe check out for a second? Invincible, 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 time lost proto Drake, invincible, 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 invincible. Okay, great. Let me ask you one more question before we get to the point. In Cataclysm, what mount makes you kind of turn your head a little bit? It's exciting. Maybe it's a little rare. Maybe you just don't see it as often as the rest. Fell Drake, Camel, Seahorse, right? Maybe some of these, the Blazing Drakes, Experiment 12Bs. Okay, so now let me ask you guys a follow-up question. What do all of these mounts have in common? Well, they're rare drops. Not everyone gets them because they're rare. You can make the argument it's not a good system. That's fine. And if you want to change things moving forward, hey man, maybe I'm even with it. But the reason these mounts are the way they are is because people have some type of built-in prestige by the point I just proved. When you see Invincible, there's a different feeling than when you see Reigns of the Armored Brown Bear. When you see Ashes of Alar, it's a different feeling than when you see the Blue Wind Rider. Why is that? Well, because it's a rare drop and not everyone has it, and you have to put the time in to get it, or you get really unlucky and you never get it. But that's part of what makes the mount fundamentally cool. So once you change that, then you changed the mount being cool, and then the mount's not cool anymore, and now you like just essentially removed a cool mount. Now it's not cool anymore. So once again, if you want to change the system moving forward, then you could try to experiment with that. But I'm not too sure that's a good idea by what we just proved here, right? Like once again, with Mist of Pandaria, what are some of the coolest mounts? Well, you have Shaw of Anger, right? When you like turns your head. And that's kind of this whole discussion, right? So I love Deedge. He's a cool guy. But I am going to disagree with that take. I don't think that's a fair take to say, well, you just kind of pull the slot machine. It's like, well, yeah. And people seem to like the slot machine mounts based on just asking the average WoW player, what's a cool rare mount in Burning Crusade? Turns out to be Ashes, despite it being a slot machine. Okay, it's hard to argue with that, isn't it? It is. It's hard. It's hard to argue with that. It's hard to argue with what's the coolest mount in Wrath. Of course it's Invincible or Mim's Head, right? Of course it is. They're the rarest mounts. So that's that. Players want rare mounts because they're rare. And once you make them not rare, players don't want them anymore. So if you want no rare mounts, then that's fine. You could do that moving forward. But as soon as you make rare mounts not rare, then they stop being cool. And that's just the facts. So yeah, I do appreciate the link. Hopefully this can dispel some of those myths moving forward. Boom.